Hey everyone, Video James here. You might have thought, oh, Video James lied on his last AFCON video, where he said he was going to do World Cup predictions because it's the 1st of September and they're not here. Well, surprise, surprise, it's 2 a.m. in New England, and I'm getting the video out, even though I am going to be at work in about, 6 hours, and I should be sleeping. But here we go. Uh, so the first games for this next World Cup qualifier match days, they're going to take place in roughly 4 hours from recording, so 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the first game is going to be played in Asia. And I believe that game will either be the South Korea Iraq game or the Japan Oman game, and I think it's the Japan Oman game. Also, if I have any UK based viewers, if you go to onefootball.com, you can watch the AFC World Cup qualifiers for free. I sadly don't have that privilege. I'm not being paid or sponsored by OneFootball, by the way. I'm only sharing because I saw that tweet go out. So go to onefootball.com. That's the word onefootball.com to watch the AFC qualifiers for free, live. But moving on, I'm going to move as fast as possible with this video. I will provide very little analysis. I'm going to give you some of the changes in the UEFA group. I'm going to give you some of the changes in the CONMEBOL qualifying group. I'm going to give you guys what I think the hexagonal for CONCACAF will be, but I will just leave AFC and CAF. I won't give you guys the changes because I think you guys can do the math from there, because it's everyone starting at zero, and it's much smaller groups. So to start AFC, I'm starting with Group A, starting from the first match going to the last match of the sets of match days. So I'm going to do all the matches in September for all these groups. I'm not doing October. I'll do October after the September matches are over so I can update my predictions, and we'll see where we go from there. So first of all, I have South Korea beating Iraq 4-0. Brutal game. I think Iraq is going to struggle because right now Iraq has a brand new head coach who's been untested, and that head coach doesn't really have a huge pedigree. So this is a scary time for Iraq, especially as they're having a big player shift with the transfer market for clubs. They're not sure who they're going to be able to get on the pitch today. I have Iran playing Syria, and I have Iran either having a 0-0 draw or a 2-2 draw with Syria. Moving on, the UAE versus Lebanon. I have the UAE beating Lebanon 3-0. Then, on the next match day, I have South Korea beating Lebanon 3-0 again, Syria with a 1-0 win over the UAE, and Iraq losing to Iran at home 0-1. Next, I have the Group B, Japan versus Oman, 2-0 in favor of Japan. Australia versus the People's Republic of China, 2-1 win for Australia. Saudi Arabia losing by 1-0 to Vietnam at home. Saudi Arabia at home. Then I have on the next match day, Vietnam losing to Australia at home 1-2. Oman losing at home to Saudi Arabia 1-2. And then I have the People's Republic of China losing to Japan 0-2. Okay, by the way the scores are arranged, I'm doing home teams score first, away teams score second. So I know that might be confusing for some people because you expect the winner to be first, but I'm doing that so that you guys get an idea of how much I'm putting emphasis on home games, which right now is not a lot. Now we're moving on to the African Federation. You have in Group A, Niger, Burkina Faso, Algeria, Djibouti, and first match is going to be Niger versus Burkina Faso. I have Niger losing 1-4. Algeria will then play Djibouti, and I think Algeria will win 5-0. Djibouti will then play Niger. I believe Djibouti will manage to score a goal, but will still lose 1-3. And then I have Burkina Faso scoring 2 goals against Algeria at home, but inevitably losing 5-2. Or 2-5, I should say. In Group B, we have Mauritania, Zambia, Tunisia, and Equatorial Guinea. I think Mauritania will play out Zambia to a 0-0 draw. Tunisia will beat Equatorial Guinea 3-0. Zambia will lose to Tunisia 1-2. And Equatorial Guinea will lose to Mauritania in a boring 0-1 game. In Group C, we have the Central African Republic, Cape Verde, Nigeria, and Liberia. I have the Central African Republic losing heavily to Cape Verde 3-0. Well, 0-3. Nigeria beating Liberia 4-2. Liberia beating the Central African Republic 1-0. And Cape Verde losing to Nigeria 0-2. In Group D, we have Mozambique, Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, and Malawi. I have Mozambique losing to Cote d'Ivoire 0-2, Cameroon beating Malawi 4-1, Cote d'Ivoire beating Cameroon 2-1, and Malawi drawing with Mozambique 2-2. In Group E, we have Mali, Rwanda, Kenya, and Uganda. Just quick note, before somebody complains about the scores and mentions that Rwanda had the highest scoring in the preliminary rounds, remember that they played Seychelles, so it's not really that big a deal. Mali, I expect to beat Rwanda 3-0. Kenya to lose to Uganda 2-3 in a tough game. Rwanda to lose to Kenya 1-2, and Uganda to lose to Mali 1-3. In Group F, I expect Egypt to thrash Angola 4-0. And I expect... Oh, by the way, Group F, Egypt, Angola, Libya, and Gabon. I expect Egypt to thrash Angola 4-0. Libya to get battered by Gabon 0-3. Gabon to draw with Egypt 2-2, and Angola to beat Libya 2-0. In Group G, we have Zimbabwe, South Africa, Ghana, and Ethiopia. I expect Zimbabwe to lose to Bafana Bafana 0-1. I expect Ghana to beat Ethiopia 3-0. Then I have South Africa losing to Ghana 0-2, and Ethiopia and Zimbabwe drawing with 1 goal apiece. In Group H, I have Senegal beating Togo. Senegal, Togo, Namibia, and Congo. Not DR Congo, the Republic of Congo, the regular Congo. Senegal to beat Togo 2-0. Namibia to beat Congo 3-2. Togo to lose to Namibia 1-2. And Congo to lose to Senegal 1-4. In Group I, we have Guinea-Bissau and Guinea, then Morocco and Sudan. For our Ghanaian derby, I see Guinea-Bissau losing to Guinea 1-2. Morocco to beat Sudan 3-0. Guinea to lose to Morocco 0-2. And Sudan losing to Guinea-Bissau 1-2. In Group J, we have DR Congo, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Tanzania, Madagascar, and Benin. I expect DR Congo to beat Tanzania 5-1 in a high-scoring game, Madagascar to draw with Benin 2-2, Benin to lose to DR Congo 2-6, and Tanzania to lose to Madagascar in 3-4. Now we're moving on to CONCACAF. We're going to check out the first 3 match days in the hexagonal, so all the match days in September. If anybody watched the Gold Cup, you might get a glimpse of understanding why I'm predicting the scores and the games the way that I'm predicting them. I'm expecting, first of all, for the first game, that Canada will beat Honduras 2-0. Honduras has a lot of injured mainstay players right now. I don't think they're going to make it. After all, we saw what happened in the Gold Cup. Panama to beat Costa Rica 2-1. I don't think Costa Rica is at the same caliber that they were before. I think they're aging out. They're not doing well. Mexico to beat Jamaica 3-0. El Salvador to lose to USA 2-4. High scoring game, but a good scrappy loss for El Salvador. Jamaica to lose to Panama 0-1. El Salvador to beat Honduras 2-0. Costa Rica to lose to Mexico 0-2. The U.S. to beat Canada 2-1 in a close game. Canada to beat El Salvador 2-1. Costa Rica to draw with Jamaica 1-1. Panama to lose to Mexico 0-3. And Honduras to lose to the U.S. 0-3. For reference, that would put the USA on top with 9 points. Mexico in second on 9, only losing out on goal differential. Canada on 6, Panama on 6, and fourth. In fifth place, El Salvador with 3, Jamaica in sixth place, Costa Rica in seventh, and Honduras with no points in eighth. Now we're moving on to CONMEBOL, to the South American Federation. These are match days 9, followed by match day 6, followed by match day 10. For the confusion as to why we're going from 9 to 6 to 10, it's because match day 6 was pushed back due to a COVID outbreak. Moving on, I expect Bolivia to lose to Colombia 0-3. I expect Ecuador to keep up their fine form and beat Paraguay 2-1, despite Paraguay's defensive turtling and parking the bus at the back. I expect Venezuela to lose to Argentina 0-3. Sorry, Venezuela. I expect Peru to beat Uruguay 2-1, so that Peru gains some points for once. Chile, I think they'll lose to Brazil 0-2, and Brazil will keep up their winning streak, only to lose it in the next match day against Argentina with a 1-2 loss to the Copa America holders, Argentina. I think Ecuador will have a close game with Chile, 3-2, but come out on top. Uruguay to beat Bolivia, 2-0. Paraguay to draw with Colombia, 1-1. Peru to draw with Venezuela, 0-0. Uruguay to beat Ecuador, 2-1. Paraguay to draw with Venezuela, 2-2. Colombia to score a goal against Chile but ultimately lose in a 1-3 game. Argentina to beat Bolivia in a 3-1 game where Bolivia manages to score a goal away. Brazil to beat Peru 1-0 in a close fight. And those are match days 9, 6, and 10. So to give you an update on the points, Brazil would still be on top with 24 points despite a loss to Argentina. Argentina would be in second on 21 points. Ecuador would barely be in third with 15. Uruguay in fourth with 14. Colombia would still be in the playoff spot with 12 points in fifth. Paraguay would be in sixth on 9 points. Chile, seventh on 9 points based on goal difference. Peru, eighth with 8 points. Venezuela, 10th with 5. And Bolivia, Venezuela 9th with 5 points. And Bolivia, 10th with 5 points. Now, let's move on to UEFA, the grand finale, which I'm sure people have been waiting for. We're going to talk Group A first, and by the way, I'm not going to update all the placements, I'll just say what placements will change. With me expecting that Portugal will win Group A, I expect Portugal to have a 2-0 win over Ireland at home, Luxembourg to have a 2-0 win over Azerbaijan, Serbia to suffer a shock draw against Luxembourg 2-2, Ireland to have a 3-0 win over Azerbaijan. Then Ireland losing to Serbia 0-1. Then Azerbaijan losing to Portugal 4-0. No changes in placement. Qatar will also be playing in Group A, but their matches will be counted as international friendlies, even though it technically says that they're competing in the group. It's complicated. I'm not going to provide predictions for that. Group B, I have Sweden beating Spain 2-1, Georgia losing to Kosovo 2-3, Spain beating Georgia, Sakartvelo, 3-0, Kosovo drawing with a very boring Greece, 1-1, Greece losing to Sweden, 1-2, Kosovo losing to Spain, 0-2. However, even though Spain lost their first game, I do expect them to stay on top, as noted by the match results, which would mean Spain in first still, Sweden in second, though I do expect Sweden to top this group. Kosovo third, Greece fourth, Georgia fifth. Group C, we have Italy beating Bulgaria 3-0 is my plan, Lithuania losing to Northern Ireland 0-1, Italy drawing with Switzerland, shockingly, 2-2, Bulgaria drawing with Lithuania 0-0, Northern Ireland beating Switzerland. Oh, no. That's not what I predicted. Northern Ireland losing to Switzerland 0-3, and then Italy beating Lithuania 5-0. However, this will amount to no changes. Group D, I predict that France will beat Bosnia-Herzegovina 2-1. After a lot of struggling from a younger French side these past couple of years, Kazakhstan to get blistered 0-4 to Ukraine, Finland to beat Kazakhstan 2-0, France to shockingly lose to Ukraine 0-1 at home, Bosnia-Herzegovina continuing to lay the beatdown on Kazakhstan 2-0, and then France coming back to beat Finland 3-1. This set of predictions would mean no changes in the placements. In Group E, I predict that Belgium will beat Estonia 4-0. Czechia will beat Belarus 5-1. Belgium to beat Czechia 2-0. Belarus to lose to Wales 0-3. Wales to beat Estonia 2-0. This would make Wales jump up to second and Czechia fall down to third. In Group F, I predict that Denmark will beat Scotland 4-1. Moldova to lose to Austria 0-3, as Moldova continues to prove that they're closer and closer to becoming the worst team in Europe. The Faroe Islands to lose to Israel 1-3. Scotland to beat Moldova 3-0. Israel to draw with Austria 2-2. Faroe Islands to lose to their sovereign leader, Denmark, 0-5. Scotland to lose to Austria, 1-2, not keeping up the form that the rankings would make you believe. The Faroe Islands to beat Moldova, 2-0. Denmark to beat Israel, 3-0. And that would put Austria in second, Scotland in third, and Israel in fourth. I still expect Denmark to top this group. By the way, for Group B, I expect Belgium to top. For Group D, I still expect France to top. For Group C, I expect Italy to top, because I didn't share that with you guys. Group G, a group that I expect the Netherlands to top. I predict that Turkey will beat Montenegro 3-0. I expect Norway to lose to the Netherlands 2-3 in a close scrap. Latvia to beat Gibraltar 1-0. The Netherlands to beat Montenegro 2-0. Latvia to lose to Norway 0-4. Turkey to beat Gibraltar 4-0. The Netherlands at home to beat Turkey 4-1 and make up for their 4-2 loss away in Turkey. Montenegro to beat Latvia 2-0. Norway to beat Gibraltar 6-0. Those matches in that particular order: fashioned the way I predicted, would put Netherlands in first, Turkey in second, Norway in third, and Montenegro in fourth. In Group H, I expect Russia to lose at home to Croatia 0-2, Slovakia to beat Slovenia 2-1, Malta to beat Cyprus 1-0 in a shocking surprise that we'd all be proud of, Slovakia to lose to Croatia 0-2, Cyprus to lose to Russia 1-3, Slovenia to step over Malta 2-1, Croatia to beat Slovenia 3-1, Russia to beat Malta 4-0, and Slovakia to beat Cyprus 2-0. This is the most not sure group, but I do expect Croatia to top quite easily, but this group is very difficult to predict after all the shock results we've had. With that in mind, I expect Slovenia to be pushed to fourth, Malta to be pushed to fifth, and Cyprus to be pushed to sixth. Group I expect England to beat Hungary 2-1, showing that even though Hungary had an impressive showing at the Euros and was dreadfully put up against the group of death, 2-1 win for England over Hungary. Albania to lose to Poland at home 0-4. Andorra to beat San Marino at home 1-0. England to beat Andorra 5-0. Albania to lose to Hungary 1-3. Poland to beat San Marino 5-0. Hungary to beat Andorra 4-0. Albania to beat San Marino 3-0. And England and Poland to draw 3-3, with Lewandowski making up the majority of the goals over the course of these 3 match days. That would put Poland up to third, with Hungary still in second, and Albania would push down to fourth. In Group J, I expect Armenia to beat North Macedonia 2-1, despite North Macedonia's win over Germany earlier this year. I expect Iceland... Oh, by the way, I expect England to top Group I. Group J, I expect Germany to top. Iceland to lose to Romania 0-3. Liechtenstein to lose to Germany 0-6. Germany to beat Armenia 3-1, thus ending their ride at the top. Romania to beat Liechtenstein 4-0. North Macedonia to beat Iceland 2-0. Armenia to beat Liechtenstein 2-0. North Macedonia to draw with Romania 2-2. Iceland to lose to Germany 1-3. The updated standings would have Germany jump back up to first, Armenia fall down to second, but still in a comfortable second, and North Macedonia in a very, very close third with the other 2 top teams. Now, I think that last one deserves a little bit of analysis. I do think that Armenia is punching well above its weight. I do think Armenia will still come out in second, despite, because they have clearly impressed by beating Romania, Iceland, and of course they beat Liechtenstein, but that Liechtenstein win was 0-1. I do expect them to beat North Macedonia, even though North Macedonia beat Germany. Unless Germany somehow bottles something, which we have clearly seen they are very capable of. I really, really suspect that Germany is they skipped the frying pan and went straight into the fire. And Armenia and North Macedonia, it seems, really do have a shot at breaking down the former world champions and one of the most decorated teams in history. And that's mainly because Germany seems to be failing at every turn. However, I said I wasn't going to provide too much analysis, so I won't go into too much. Those are my predictions for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers this month, which start in approximately 3.5 hours. And I need to go to bed before then because I have work in the morning. I've been holding on to that sneeze for ages. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry for ending the show with a sneeze. If you liked this video, please leave a like. If you didn't like this video, feel free to dislike it. But if you want to see more from me, please subscribe. Click the notification icon, which is the little bell, and leave a comment, because I'd love to discuss with you guys in the comments. I love doing that all the time. By the way, I didn't mention this in my AFCON video, but you can also find me on Twitter at VideoJames67. That's capital V for video, capital J for James, and then the numbers 6 and 7. And please follow me, because I tweet regularly about football, but I also tweet quite regularly about personal stuff. Not too personal, by the way, but, you know, if you want to get in a row with me regarding politics, you certainly can try. Or maybe you could see me post something funny. Who knows? But anyways, with that, thank you so much for watching. Once again, remember to like or dislike, subscribe, hit the notification icon, comment below. Really helps with the algorithm, really helps me get my name out there. Have a good one. Enjoy the World Cup qualifiers this month. I'll see you for October.